no souls. My head is a mess now.
2 years is not a long time, but it sure feels like one. Especially if you're these guys. An old pair of shoes, I hear some of you asking. Yes, an old pair of shoes. But this pair of shoes is special to me. They signify quite the time in my life. The time I started YouTubing. These shoes have been with me throughout thick and thin, rain and shine, dancing and sitting, normal stuff and, weirder stuff. These shoes, I love how beat up they are, you know? And also, they look good. You know? Don't they? I thought
they look good.
And, they weren't good for dancing, because of these holes, but, like, I made them good for dancing. But I just find it so cool that I got these shoes the day before I filmed this clip, my very first video. Obviously, I didn't wear these shoes in that first video, but I wore them afterwards. And boy hardy, did I sure wear them afterwards. Every single video, if I wasn't in bare feet, I was wearing these shoes. And they weren't just my filming shoes. You see, I'm not a very rich person. I'm only allowed to have one pair of shoes at a time. These were my everything shoes. This was my costume for a while. This KGD shirt, these jeans with all the hole in them, this bandana, and those shoes. This became my iconic look, pretty much. I asked a couple of my friends and they said, this is just how I looked like for years. Well, the years I had this shirt at least. From walking to running, or hanging with a friend to church, these shoes were my casuals. They were my formal. They were all I had. Which is quite easy to tell, for after just a couple months, they were already showing wear. The fronts were all but gone, and the soles were wearing quite thin. But that didn't stop me from wearing the worn shoes every day. Okay, so these shoes, I tied them maybe twice. I'm not sure if you can tell by the way these are tied, but I never had to tie these. Eventually, they got so beat up that you could easily see my socks right through them. I can tell you one thing, walking in the rain was not enjoyable. Oh, like the shoes are dirty. Oh yeah. But if they got destroyed, why didn't I get a new pair quicker? I don't know. I felt attached to these shoes. People said I looked good in them, and I agreed. But it went beyond that. The years I wore those shoes held a lot of meaning to me. I was wearing these shoes when I started driving. I was wearing these shoes when I got my braces on. I was wearing these shoes when my first girlfriend broke up with me. I was wearing these shoes when I started dating again. I was wearing these shoes when I went to Disney World. I was wearing these shoes when I got a bronze in a math contest. I was wearing these shoes when my grandfather died. These shoes have been with me through a lot, and I can't help but feel just a bit attached to them. And now that I have a new and sturdier pair of shoes, what is going to happen to these old ones? These memory-filled, amazing-looking pair of shoes. It's alright. It's not like they had souls.
Jumper. He's cringing away from the shoes. That was nice.